Hello, everyone, and welcome to the WCS Challenger for Oceania and Southeast Asia. It is the Montreal qualifiers today, the open qualifiers for our region, and I am super hyped. I'm Zeph. With me is Maynard and Pig. We've got Insano on that observer cam and Gamester running the production for us today, and as always, McDonald's Australia are backing us up, giving us that sweet sponsorship for this awesome tournament. So how are you guys doing?
Pig, you go.
I was going to wait for you to go, Lee.
No, you hang up.
I'm excited to be back here. It's always, always a pleasure to be here with you guys and see how everyone's developed over the last few months. We always go into it with some expectations. I'm hoping that I'm kind of hoping for this to be one of the tournaments where we just get a surprise face running through and knocking some people out. Personally, cheering for Demi Love a little bit. He's been someone I've been rooting to get back up there. But I'm just excited to see how the games go, see who's going to make it through to lovely Montreal for that beautiful last WCS stop of the year.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm really excited. Demi Love is a serious dark horse pick, as he always has been. I feel like for the last 3 or 4 challenges that we've had, even towards the end of 2017, he was certainly a huge threat. But obviously, we got our big boys coming back as a tomorrow's bracket. This is a 2-day thing, by the way, people. We got our big open bracket today. I think it's some 40-odd people are playing today. So that's really 6 signups, considering this is just our little region of Oceania. There's a format right there for you guys. So the top 14 will go through to tomorrow, but we're going to play through that entire double elimination bracket because we want to see who's seeded where. And we got some big names here to see who's going to be up there to face against Seether and Hut, who will be our other 2 players to make it to top 16.
Mm-hmm. And then tomorrow we'll have that top 16 played out to see who's actually going to represent us over at Montreal, which will be awesome. It has been changing up a little bit now and then. We always have the big 3, your Probe, your Seether, your Argus. Those are the guys we tend to see time and time again. Between them, they've probably got something like 10 or 15 appearances in the top 4 alone, which is pretty ridiculous. But with 43 signups that we have today for the tournament, man, it's actually hard to pick who's going to make it because everyone is doing awesome. I mean, Hunt made it for the first time last season. And one thing that I thought was interesting is that we actually have a bit more Protoss representation than we usually do. We're usually like, hello, is Probe the only Protoss that we're really seeing in the top 8 consistently? But this time we have Blisk, Frustration, Lunith, Pez, we mentioned Probe, we've got Rise, we've got Ice, 2 other regulars. And given the age of Haas, I'm kind of wondering how some of these Protoss games are going to go, because players like Frustration and Lunith in particular do have that sort of cheekier play style. So I don't know, from your experiences casting, I mean, Maynard, you just been in Korea, how much do you think that might affect the Protosses in our region?
I mean, it certainly affected the latter, Zeph, because my God, every Protoss thinks they're Haas right now. I don't know about this, Brad. I mean, we are certainly going to see some cheekiness. There are some players in that bracket that are quite cheeky already before Haas. You just mentioned Lunith. That's certainly someone who's done 1 or 2 1-basey things into a 2-base all-in. I've seen that every now and then. But I don't know if it'll affect it too much. We'll see. I know that Probe, our man Probe, isn't afraid to drop down a, Void Ray proxy shield battery against a Terran, or, hide a Dark Shrine or something like that. But he is usually historically a bit of a defensive late game guy.
Yeah, I know a lot of the fans are a little bit kind of sad when they saw Probe try some cheesy builds against the Terrans last season and not do so well. So it's kind of cool to see things turn around now. We did have 2 Terrans go through top 2, 2 Valencia. They're the top guys. And I don't know, it's weird. You think of the region, it historically was a Zerg region. Now we've got Terrans at the top. Probe has just had a slight lull in his performance last season. He's going to be hungry to get back up there and dominate. So I'm sure he's kind of rearing and just looking to prove himself today.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things is a lot of our players are getting out there a little bit more, getting more international experience. Both Probe and Demi have been in Korea. They've had some training there. So really keen to see how that's sort of helped them through their practice. And I mean, also we still have all those six Zergs that we always see. I mean, last couple of seasons we tend to call NXZ like a dark horse player, but then we forgot he's actually qualified twice, I think. He's been in that Premier League and he's had a fantastic run, and he's one of those players that can play super cheesy or he can play really solid standard macro games. And I think he's actually one of the players to watch for this bracket. And similarly, we have some of those recurring Zergs. I guess comes to mind Crimson as well. Do you guys have any picks of which Zergs might be at least making top 4 in this season?
You know what? I'm gonna say that he's gonna battle through the ping, and I reckon we might see Risky go all the way.
Captain Cook, the colonizer, he might come through. That could be cool. He's been practicing hard, but his Twitter feed the last few days has been it's been a bit of despair. He's clearly had a bad run on ladder, but I'm actually going to argue that there's like an up and down you have where everyone has a bad patch on ladder, and it's better for it to happen before the tournament. And if he can kind of like get a few decent matches in the early rounds today, he might just like totally recover his confidence and suddenly show us some really cool stuff. But he's going to get his confidence up. Otherwise, he might go out really early.
Yeah, that confidence, man. Every tweet that I read from him, I just heard like a Coldplay song in the background as I was reading it. But we actually have we have a chance right now to pick our series, ladies and gentlemen. We got Pig Junior versus Chase. Looks a little one-sided, although that looks kind of nice. Round 2's actually got a nice one there between Azure and NXZ. If we can grab that, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be
in round 2.
match.
I don't know if we can jump to round 2 or not.
I mean, this is a huge bracket. Not gonna lie, there are a lot of matches. I'll actually.
Oh wait, the bracket has refreshed.
Oh, we gotta
cancel everything I just said.
I'm going
that
to
F5 key.
Drop that link in the chat. No, I'm not. A mod is going to do that for me, hopefully, because my links are banned. But
I got you.
Yeah, we want to keep you guys happy, so please be vocal about any matches that you'd like to see from that bracket, because we got a huge double limb to get through. So we'll try and pick the best matches and the ones that you guys want the most.
Yeah, a little update from the Pig family. I don't believe Pig Junior is going to be playing in this season's qualifiers. He's got some exams on at the moment, so he's in high school study mode, trying to get into university and stuff. So he's hoping to see him return early next year or once he's kind of finished high school and stuff. But he's put it on the back burner. He said he hasn't got a lot of practice in. He's been pulling out a lot of the cheesy builds in the very limited amount of practice he's gotten. So he's not confident he could do anything like his run in season. Was it season 2 this year or season 1? Was it?
Oh my goodness, I can't even remember.
One of those early seasons.
It was one of the early ones. For sure. That's so disappointing too, because he's such an amazing player, and especially being so young, he's got a lot of promise. But I mean, he's made the right choice.
I totally disagree, Zeph. As the terrible influence of an older brother that I am, I'm like, no, you should be playing StarCraft all day. There is nothing more valuable than that. But,
that's right. You're trying to convince a guy that's been full-time StarCraft for 8 years. I think we're going to do so our first match is going to be Fuely versus Runamuck. I believe that's a TVT
cool.
and the top side of that bracket there. Runamuck's been around for a long time. Fuely's one of those new faces that's actually, someone that I learned existed through the magic of the ANZ Pro League that we had. He was always, not the greatest Terran, but still, pretty solid. Definitely a grandmaster player that does have the skills to pay the bills. But I don't know if we're expecting a deep run from him. Run amok as well, same sort of story. But they are up at that sort of bracket where we will start to see, Iagus, Probe, potentially, Demilove as well. Luneth is up there. Crimson is up there. So a lot of really big names are up there. So this is a good area of the bracket, I think, to start.
Yeah, for sure. And I think Runamuck, he hasn't really been able to get those results that he's been after. He's also got a quote-unquote real job now, the full-time 9-to-5, not StarCraft kind of deal. And it's really hard to stay on top of your practice that way. So while he has been hitting the ladder, probably not in the best form that he's ever been in. but I hear only good things from Fuely. So going into this, I feel like I favor him a little bit. Apparently, he's like 6.1k on the Grandmaster. You know, like it's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And I've heard that maybe he's one of the stronger Terrans at the moment in our region. So I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays. And unfortunately for either of these guys, if they advance here, they're going to be going up against the winner of Igus versus Neutrals. Not sure who that is, but Igus obviously heavily favored in WCS in general, but maybe not seeing the same success as he did with Terran just yet. So do you reckon Igus is going to make a deep run?
I think it's potentially going to happen for sure. You know, Igus has mentioned a few times that he's not quite at that level still where his Terran was, you know, before he switched races. You know, MMR wise, I mean, but when he was still playing Terran, the MMR system was kind of new. So it's kind of hard to tell where he was with Terran for most of his career, because he was definitely like a Korean Grandmaster for sure. Like that's,
absolutely,
you know, about as high as you could possibly get on the ladder. But how far in GM was he? That's a question mark. All we know is that he used to just beat everyone up. And this is before the age of Pro, before the age of Demilove, before the age of, you know, before Crimson was a huge threat as he is right now. And Crimson is absolutely a top 4 threat here for sure. But we're going to get this TVT underway. And I think it's Pig and I, according to this spreadsheet we have, Pig and I are casting this one. But we haven't got the lobby up just yet. So we'll just do a little bit more chatter-ratting around this bracket.
Just bear with us, folks.
I'm pretty sure Probe is still in Korea. So I think he'll be playing from there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, didn't get to catch up with him when I was in Korea. But that player house is like in the middle of nowhere. Didn't even realize. I thought Seoul was smaller.
Yeah, it's out at the airport, right? It's at Incheon. It's a satellite city. It's not really. It's like the airport city. Which I mean, I guess if you know, whenever you travel in and out, it's easy. But either way, great practice environment. I'm sure he's enjoying the 3MS to the Korean server. I was talking to Probe the other day. He said he's been struggling a little bit against Zergs with consistency on ladder, but when he gets in a best of series, he's a lot more confident because he feels like, you know, it's hard in a single game to kind of keep control of the Zerg with the way they can kind of go a little bit greedier than you expect or a little bit more aggressive. But in a best of series, you can start to kind of control the tempo a little bit. So looking forward to seeing how Probe's PvZ is developed, even though from last season, as I said before, the big question for me is when Probe runs into Seether, when he runs into Hut, what do those Protoss versus Terrans look like? That is what I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because we've seen Seether qualify several times, and he really sort of went from 0 to 10 really fast in my eyes in a scene, because he sort of went from an unknown, at least to me, who doesn't play like on a high level ladder or anything, and then just started slaughtering nerds left, right, and center. And I think it's awesome that we had a double Terran representation in last season, and because it was Hut's first qualification to actually represent us in the WCS overseas, as a veteran player who's been, you know, he's one of the first dudes I ever casted when I started in like mid 2011 or something. Like, he's been around. Are we feeling like Hut could have a repeat performance here? Any clues as to his form at the moment?
I'm not. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, I have like a theory. I have a guess that it's quite high level, and that I think it's going to be, you know, not surprising to most, but maybe surprising to some how good it is. But we won't know until we get there for sure. Like, it is a bit of question mark. I can't say with, you know, 100% solidarity that it's going to be all good. You know, as much as I'm 100% convinced that Seether is going to show us that he is still the best in this. Like, I think it's going to be all Seether this weekend, because he's just too good. Like, right now, he's just too good. He still is too good. But that's just me. Maybe Seether gets eliminated first round. All right. Maybe I'm insane. Maybe it's like Vivid, Demilove, and they go through tomorrow. I don't know. Like, I haven't actually, you know, that's the thing we've been doing, you know, our eyes are only on Oceania during like these big, well, not all of us. So, like, there is still lots and lots of OSE tournaments, lots of great tournaments to catch up with, like, you know, that are part of the OSE circle where all of these guys do play. But as far as like getting a lot of eyes on them, including yours and mine, et cetera, it is generally around Challenger time. So it's hard to tell where they are right now, where a lot of these guys are right now.
Yeah, it is. And I know a lot of these guys also take breaks between seasons here. I actually asked either how he was going with his practice the other day, and he goes, I've been playing a lot of Dota. But I feel like every time a player says that, you know, Igus is another one that comes to mind where he's been like, oh, I've just been playing Dark Souls or some other game that he writes a blog about on Team Liquid later. But then they tear through the entire bracket, and you're like, how though? How is this possible?
Yeah,
well,
these
players
a little bit coy, I think, when it comes to how much time they put into the game sometimes.
Yeah. Especially, like, I feel like especially your seeders and that sort of thing are going to not give you a straight answer because they never have.
Yeah.
I've had the quote-unquote pleasure of interviewing them on stage, and I don't think they've ever given a straight answer to anything in their whole life. So we'll have to see them speak through the magic of StarCraft 2 games.
Yeah, memes and StarCraft are the communication form here in 2018, and you know what? I am excited to see what these guys are going to bring out. So Fuely's a player who I've definitely seen on and off over the years, but I'm really curious about his style in recent times. Is it still very stylistic, you know, like it used to be? Is he a bit of a mixed bag? Any thoughts you guys have on exactly what he's been bringing out in the past? Because I remember him playing. I'm not getting confused, right? He's Terran, right?
Yeah.
This is a 2v2.
Okay. He's Protoss in the lobby. I'm like, he didn't change race because he used to always play mech, right?
I feel like I remember some Pro League games where he did, but I feel like mech's kind of out of fashion at the moment. I don't know if he's still doesn't it? Like a lot of Terrans, even the ones that did go mech, I was just sort of like, you know what, Biotank's pretty good. I'm gonna go down that path.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think he's shown a bit of both. My hazy memory of the Pro League is that he was pulling out maybe some of those cheeky builds like the Hellbat Cyclone. And you know, he obviously has the ability to play that sort of turtle mech style as well. But I think, you know, bit of column A, bit of column B, because Terrans have sort of switched it up a little bit more. It's not only mech, it's not only bio. But he's not a dude that streams or anything, I don't think. So it's kind of hard to get a gauge on what he's doing right now. And I suppose we'll find out very shortly.
Well, that's the great thing, Zeph, is that you don't have to wait much longer because the players seem to be ready in the lobby. We're in there. They're giving us the go ahead for the most part, and this countdown will begin in a second.